Who were some of your favorite moments from the show?
Celebrity Rehab?
Yeah.
I had a million of them. There were so many things. Rodman, I had a real attachment to Rodman.
Yeah.
This is a great story. I don't think this went on TV. A lot of stuff didn't go on TV that was just so great.
Let's tell all the stuff that didn't go on TV.
Okay, he was in. It's the first group, and I think he was in the group with like Heidi Fleiss and Tom Sizemore. It was a really rough group, and a lot of stuff was going on. And he was reading a book like this the whole time, like didn't look up from it. And I go, Dennis, come on, man. These people are working hard. They're pouring their heart out. I want you in the group. It's painful to see you doing that. I want you in the group. And he goes, hey. He goes, all right. He goes, I got to tell you something. You and I, we're going to have a relationship. It's going to take some time, but we will have one. And we did. It took a long time, but we eventually did. I know his mom. I know him. I have great affection for him. But then he was very adversarial. And he goes, you got to understand something if we're going to have a friendship. First thing you got to understand. Here's what you got to understand. He put his hand up here and he goes, there's God. Then he moved his hand down about an inch and he goes, then there's professional athletes. And you got to understand that. You need to understand that if you're going to have a friendship with me. And so I literally was like, oh, all right, Dennis, that's fine. I get it.
I mean, he did lead the league in rebounds. When Michael Jordan led the league in scoring, that's not a lot of opportunities to get rebounds. That's doing some shit,
God,
Dr. Drew.
And then professional athletes.
That's fucking great.
All right, man, that's good. And I accepted that and we became friends. And so... it was really something. That was a good story. Oh God, there were so many.
Who surprised you the most in doing well?
Jenny Ketchum, who was in the sex addiction show. She's also a drug addict, which she didn't know at the time, but we found out. Yes, indeed, she was doing lots of drugs, and she's now a social worker in Washington with a kid.
Wow,
she's unbelievable.
What do you mean she didn't know? She just thought, I'm doing these drugs, didn't realize it was addiction?
People don't realize how... They'll have a primary, like her primary was sex, but they sort of think the other things is not as big a deal. But when they really start to look at it, it's like, oh, I've not gone one day without smoking pot 3 times a day. I've not gone one day without doing cocaine morning, noon, and night. I've not gone one day without a drink. It's like, that's kind of a problem, isn't it? I'll try to do it. Oh my God, I miss it. That's a problem. And I want to go back. The thing about drug addiction is you want to go back. It's not just not being able to stop. I mean, that we can kind of interfere with various ways, but you go back, and that's the addiction part. Addiction screws with the part of it screws with the liking and the wanting part of the brain, right? You like it a little too much, but even when you don't like it, you want it, and the wanting becomes operating at a subconscious level. Well, all the other priorities in your brain start focusing on pursuing the drug, even when you don't realize it. So everything you want to do, everything you're feeling will be directing you back towards using. It's insidious. It shows you how all the rest of the brain works, because it all works on behalf of this screwed up
I'm doing a mental inventory of my life right now here.
Yeah. And
I mean, someone just told me the other day that I had Afrin to clear my nose. I just wasn't breathing, but I use it like once. I was clogged up. And I sprayed it, and she goes, oh my God, are you addicted to Afrin? I was like, what do you mean?
It's really easy to get addicted.
And that's what she said. She goes, my 2 neighbors growing up were addicted, and they would they're getting high off of it? And she goes, no, they're just spraying it because they think they need it.
It's called rhinitis medicamentosa. It actually inflames it, and so you get a few seconds of relief, so you keep going back, but it perpetuates
that dragon,
perpetuates it, yeah. Rhinitis medicamentosa.
What's the
fancy name? So I'm sure I can come up with more.
Come on.
Okay, let me think about who.
You can.
There were many, many surprises. Well, one of the biggest surprises in Celebrity Rehab was the process that everybody went through. You got to understand, pretty much everybody that came on that show came to make money, be on TV, and screw with us. They did not intend to get treatment. I mean, they knew they needed treatment, so some part of them was like, all right, some of them wanted treatment. I'll take it back. Some do, but most of them, like Jenny said, she just wanted to screw us up. She just wanted to get and just muck up the program. But every single one of them, save maybe one patient, every single one of them, when they got there and they realized how serious we were about the treatment, they eventually got into it and got involved with it. And this was the transformation that they all went through. And I'm so grateful for it. And I didn't know it was going to happen. By week 3, all of them valued their treatment and wanted to share it with the world and wanted to do well by it.
Is that fast? Crazy. Week 3 seems kind of quick.
It does. I could not have predicted it. It was crazy. Now, again, it's in front of cameras, so they know they're being held accountable. They're being paid. That's why they want to do it. They aren't being, people misbehave. I normally kick people out of treatment. These guys were staying to treatment. And so it was really an interesting.
Did they sleep over? Are they allowed to go home?
Oh no, this was we were in a hospital.
We were there.
This was intense treatment. This was very intense. And we did hours of group every day and hours of individual therapy and stuff, and lots of 12-step, and and it was rewarding. It was really good. And a lot of people did well. A lot of people are sober today because of that show. A lot.
You still keep in touch or follow up, or they keep in touch with you?
Oh yeah, they're just amazing. Amber Smith is amazing. Jenny's amazing. Sizemore, better and sometimes great. Heidi seems great. I mean, they all seem very much benefited.
And each person, I imagine, is a different case. Even if these 3 people are addicted to cocaine,
each different
treatment
case.
is different for everything, is it not? Even though they all have aluminum on their windows.
There's different stuff for different people at different times, and it's all got to be individualized for sure.
What's the toughest for you?
Well, the toughest, and the reason I'm not doing it as actively now as I used to, is the opiate epidemic drove me insane. The patients would come in strung out on opiates, pain. Jeff Conway was a perfect example of that. Do you remember Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
Pain, I'm in pain. Jeff, what's your
from Taxi, right?
Yeah. What's your pain on a scale of 10? 20, 15. You can't even imagine it. Take them off the opiates within 2 weeks, no pain medicine, all when you won't talk about the pain unless prompted. And when prompted, we'll always say like 5, 6. Jeff Conway tap danced in front of me. He tap danced. He believed an angel had visited him, took his pain away. Of course, he leaves the hospital, goes back, talks to his doctors. They go, why are you listening to those people? I'm your doctor. You need to take these medicines. You tell that to a drug addict.
Especially coming from a doctor.
Jeff Conway dead. Mike Starr severe opiate addict. We couldn't believe we got him clean. He was like a legendary poly drug addict. Methadone, we got him off. Methadone, we got him off. Everything. We were working with him. We worked with most people if they wanted it. We worked them for up to a year after treatment. And Mike, we worked really hard with. Bob was seeing him all the time. And he was in sober living, and he stayed sober. Finally, after about a year or 8 months, one day he goes, I'm moving to Utah. We're like, oh, dude, no, please, Mike, don't. And he goes, no, I'm moving. I'll be right by Cirque Lodge. It's sort of a sober living. I got to get into music again. All the guys are sober. I'll check in with you all the time. Goes, checks in 2 weeks later. He goes, my back hurts. I go, Mike, please, whatever you do not tell a doctor your back hurts. Dear God, please don't do that. You understand me? Don't do that. Okay. 2 weeks later, dead. Benzodiazepine opiate for back pain at his bedside. Yeah. And so I couldn't take that anymore. I couldn't take it.
I mean, I grew up in Maryland, and by the time I got out of Maryland, it started happening more to the siblings of the kids I grew up with, 3-4 years younger, But I would go back, and there would be billboards all over Maryland that would say, talk to your kids about heroin, talk to your kids about opiates. And I started reading these articles about it. At the time, it was coming out of Texas, and it was one of the worst epidemics in the country in that particular state. And they were admitting, daily, I don't know how many of these kids overdosing.
They all started with prescription meds.
That's right.
All started with prescription.
And then that
my
runs
profession
out.
did all of it. And it was, I have a lecture series now where I talk about the history of how this happened, because I lived it. And it was unbelievable. It was perpetrated by well-meaning people who became evangelists for pain. And it was just a nightmare. And I was living in it. I remember I was on Larry King the night that Heath Ledger died. And I was on there saying, you don't understand. This is addiction. A doctor did this to him. And it's a tsunami that's going to come over our country. The wave it's coming. I see it. I've been living in it. It's about to come crashing down. And then it came.
It did.
It came. I'm telling you, we're looking at a similar problem with homelessness right now with infectious diseases.
Really?
It's crashing any day. In this town anyway, in Los Angeles.
It's said, I just read it's up 16%.
50,000 people, but tuberculosis, typhus, typhoid fever. I missed that one. I predicted
that's back.
Plague is coming back.
Come on.
I guarantee it.
From these
tuberculosis
these camps?
is exploding, and exploding. This is not a static thing. These are sick people decaying in the streets, and nobody's doing anything except letting their sanitation fall apart, and the rodents are just taking over the city. It's bad. It's really going to be bad. So have a good summer.
Oh my God. Thinking about relocating right now.